Good morning. I'm Dr. Lois Wims, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, and your commencement MC for the day. It is sure a pleasure to welcome our graduates and all their guests to these, the 148th commencement exercises at Worcester State University.
Buenos días, estudiantes, familiares, amigas y amigos. Mi nombre es la doctora Mariana Calle y soy profesora del Departamento de Ciencias de la Salud. Bienvenidos, bienvenidas a la ceremonia de graduación. Felicitaciones y espero que disfruten de la ceremonia. Good morning. Family, students, my name is Mariana Calle. I'm a professor at the Health Science Department, and I want to welcome you to the graduation commencement. Congratulations all, and I hope you enjoy the ceremony.
Thank you, Mariana. Hannah Piccioni, class of 23, will now lead us singing the national anthem, followed by a recording of the Worcester State University Chorale led by Dr. Christy Nigro, singing our alma mater, which is printed on the back inside cover of your program. Please remain standing if you are able through both songs.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Worcester State, our noble college, we take pride in you. As we gather gaining knowledge, we will very true. Worcester State, listen, raise each voice as we now sing your praise. Memories we all will cherish of our college days.
Please be seated. There will be time after the conclusion of the formal exercises for celebration and picture taking. We have engaged professional photographers who will be taking pictures of each graduate, and the graduates should have received information on ordering directly from the company. With Memorial Day right around the corner, I take a moment now to extend a heartfelt thank you to all veterans and service members here with us. There are members of the platform party that perform a critical role to the university and to the graduating class of 2024, whom I will introduce at this time. Please stand when your name is called. Dr. Emily Sultano, faculty and class of 2024 advisor. Kristen Nelson, director of residence life and class of 2024 advisor. She's assisting with today's commencement exercises from the floor. Lizbeth Alcantara, class of 2024 member. Catherine Jenna Buckley, class of 2024 committee member. Ryan Catherine McGowan, class of 2024 committee member. Shura Insubaga, class of 2024 committee member. Emma J. Polak, class of 2024 committee member. Let's welcome all of our platform guests. And first on the program to bring greetings will be Dr. Erica Brasaka, president of the Worcester chapter of the Massachusetts State College Association, Massachusetts Teachers Association, and the National Education Association. Following Dr. Brasaka will be Marina Taylor, chair of the WSU Board of Trustees, to bring greetings on behalf of the board. After Ms. Taylor will be President Barry Maloney with remarks, followed by Alexander Martell with the senior class address.
Good morning. Morning. Today is a day of celebration as we consider all of the work that our students, soon-to-be graduates, their families and friends, and our campus community have done. In highlighting our students' achievements as president of the Worcester State University chapter of the Massachusetts State College Association, I would like to take a moment to recognize the work of the full-time and part-time faculty and librarians of the university. Could you all stand up, please? They've worked incredibly hard alongside our students in extraordinary times, using extraordinary measures on the way to this stage. Thank you for joining me in applauding them. As one of my undergraduate mentors says, and I have always said this in many speeches, Dr. Minor Myers, I tripped over all of my script today, I'm so sorry. Go forth and do well, but more importantly, go forth and do good, particularly in these times. On behalf of the faculty and the librarians here, sincerest congratulations.
Good morning. I'm Marina Taylor, and I'm chair of the Board of Trustees. I'm joined here this morning with my fellow board members. As I call your name, please stand. Dr. Lisa Colombo, class of 1987, vice chair. Karen LaFond, William Mosley, Dina Nichols, Amy Peterson, class of 2003, Caitlin Schott, class of 2024, David Tattle, class of 2001, and Dr. Lauren Sasso and Maureen Power, who could not be with us this morning. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I congratulate you all. As trustees, we care deeply about the experience of our students and feel privileged to share with you in this special day. If we have done our job correctly, this university has given you the opportunity to learn well, to grow, and to reach your potential. Because you're here today, it is clear that you have seized that opportunity. We also recognize that success and achievements are accomplished with the support of friends, family, extended family members, and professors. Please take a moment now to make eye contact with someone that helped you along this journey and give them a thumbs up. Come on. Come on. That's right. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. It may take a while for you to fully comprehend the significance of your accomplishment, but let me assure you that this ceremony is more than a tradition. It is a vital milestone in your life, one which you will always remember. Again, congratulations. Worcester State University's 11th president pledged to put students first. From the moment he arrived nearly 13 years ago, this has guided his actions ever since. Please welcome to the podium President Barry Maloney.
Marina, Trustee Taylor, let me first start off with thanking you for your service as Chair of the Board of Trustees. Thank you for all of your guidance and support this year. Thank you very much. On behalf of Worcester State University, I welcome all members of the Board of Trustees, our faculty, our staff, and other distinguished guests, as well as the friends and families of our nearly 1,000 graduating seniors. Yeah, that's a big number, right? To our 148th commencement ceremony. To all of those who are graduating today, congratulations, class of 2024. In preparing my remarks today, I asked myself what to say. What was the question that I need to think about relative to this class of 2024? And really one of the questions was, what defines these graduates, this amazing class? Well, for one thing, you've already learned how to handle hard better. If that phrase resonates with you, you may be one of the millions who have seen Coach Kara Lawson's motivational speech to our Duke University women's basketball team. She says, "We all wait in life for things to get easier. It will never get easier. What happens is you learn how to handle hard better." This inspirational, off-the-cuff message struck a chord with everyone from those student athletes to fellow coaches, cancer patients, those who've lost loved ones, to CEOs, and, as you might guess, to university presidents. So how about you, graduates? Did you think nothing could be worse than Algebra 2 in 2020? Well then, March of 2020 happened, and things got a little bit harder. In the midst of the pandemic, did you wait for things to get easier? No, you did not. With a safe return in place, Worcester State reopened as the lockdown eased, and it was a brave decision for all of us, as well as those of you who joined us that fall. Hard times that we've just lived through are truly unique, but they are a result of a worldwide pandemic. But historically, graduates, hard times happen, and then they happen again. Such was the time when our founding institution, the Worcester Normal School, opened its doors nearly 150 years ago today. It offered a 2-year program to educate those who would teach in our public schools. Our state led the nation requiring that every child be educated, and then the public schools would admit all students, regardless of race, ethnicity, or religion. Back then, not everyone was on board with using tax dollars to educate those huddled masses yearning to breathe free, as it says on the Statue of Liberty, which welcomed many of them to the United States. Those children and those emancipated from slavery or who arrived to the Commonwealth after Reconstruction filled Massachusetts classrooms in the decades following WSU's founding. They are all collectively our ancestors. From our earliest days, Worcester State too welcomed students from all backgrounds. Our graduates went on to teach in diverse city classrooms. One such graduate, Sarah Ella Wilson, graduated 20 years after we opened. She then taught at the Belmont Street School for almost 50 years, impacting multiple generations. She demonstrated courage in becoming one of the first Black women to attend the normal school and then became a leader. She was active in women's groups and groups in the community such as the Worcester Interracial Council, the NAACP, and the Home for Colored and Aged People, which she founded and then served as vice president. She transformed lives. In fact, one of her students, as a first grader, local CEO, Saul Feingold, funded a Worcester State scholarship in her name when he turned 86 years old. Sarah Wilson established the essential traits of what it means to be a Lancer: courage, leadership, and public spiritedness. which I will define today as the appreciation for what has been given and a desire to give back. Those qualities emerge repeatedly over our 150-year history and also within today's graduating class. You can trace a line directly from Sarah Wilson to Jamelica Suarez Florentino of Boston. Jamelica graduates cum laude today with a Bachelor of Degrees in Mathematics, having earned the highest academic achievement award in that department. Jamelka is also an extrovert. She is also minoring in secondary education and in Spanish. Jamelka's leadership skills were apparent during her 3 years working for WSU in residence life and as a fellow for the Generation Teach STEAM Academy. She already has and will continue to give back. Her next step is as an upward-bound math and science tutor at Boston University, helping low-income and first-generation bound high school students, college-bound students. The famous quote that is, education is not the filling of the pail, but the lighting of a fire. Worcester State's graduates have been igniting a spark in young people's minds for 150 years. Let's give a hand to all of those who plan to teach. Personally, courageous choices take place at any time. Take alumnus Bob Mullen. In the early 1950s, Worcester State Teachers College offered its first graduate degree. At that time, Bob had many opportunities to advance economically in this country, especially as he was one of the few holding a master's degree. He could have certainly coasted along. What did he do instead? He embraced hard by challenging himself. He went abroad, alone, to teach in Japan and Germany, which were rebuilding in the aftermath of World War II, and undoubtedly tough places for Americans to live and work. Afterward, he returned home to earn a doctorate from Columbia, then taught for decades at Queens College of the City University of New York. Himself from humble beginnings, Bob credited Worcester State for the educational opportunity we provided him. He made wise financial decisions and then gave back, donating $2 million to benefit Worcester State students. Gutsy personal choices and then gratitude to pay it forward. He too showed what it means to be a Lancer. Throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, many alumni and campus leaders met the challenges of their times or challenged themselves. This class of 2024, you came to us in the midst of a worldwide pandemic and are graduating into what at times seems like worldwide chaos. You will add your own chapters to the Worcester State history book. Some of you already have. Teen Nguyen left Vietnam for a Kansas high school 2 years before arriving here. In that isolating fall of 2020, she was cut off from her homeland and her more recent connections in Kansas and from the social activities that, in more normal times, would have eased her transition. I was scared and hopeless, she wrote in her application today to become today's student speaker. All I wanted was to get through 4 years as quickly as I could. Somehow, one step at a time, Worcester State got me involved in college life. She served as a club president, as an RA, while earning a 3.9 GPA. She expressed sincere gratitude for those who helped her get to today's stage. She is a class marshal and graduates today with a business degree and a minor in economics. Like 10, Ashby, yeah, let's give 10, yeah. Like 10, graduating senior Ashman Zung came here from afar. In her student speaker application, she says, I came to Worcester by myself. My parents stayed in China, a 12 to 13 hour time difference. They don't speak English, and they neither had schooling beyond middle school. She went on to become an RA, a tour guide, a presidential student ambassador, an entrepreneur ambassador, all as a native Chinese speaker while earning a 3.8 GPA in biology. As a peer-assisted mentor at our Imu Isaku STEM Center, she found helping others meaningful. She calls it her way of giving back to Worcester State. She mentions that two professors, Margaret Kerr and Brian Zhu, invited her to their homes for Thanksgiving. How's that for faculty dedication? As an RA, Aspen was often on campus when other students weren't, and she thanked the mailroom staff, campus police for brightening her days. And to that list, I'll add our hardworking maintainers who, especially during the pandemic, always kept our campus clean and safe. I thank Aspen, as well as 2024 class committee members Emma Polak, who was a student trustee last year and is his presidential student ambassador, and Ryan McGowan, who received the SGA Student Leadership Scholarship and served on our campus climate committee. These students, along with today's speaker, Alexander Martel, who made it to the interview round of our new process for selecting a student speaker. They all embody what it means to be a Lancer. Can we all give them some recognition today? While personal struggles are not always as evident as historic or geographical ones, those of us who work at Worcester State know and hear about them every day. Students sometimes encounter special challenges if they identify as a member of an underrepresented group or if they have a health or accessibility issue. Among the many faculty and staff who step up to help them are English professor Riley McGuire, history professor Charlotte Haller, world languages professor Naidia Saavedra, and staff Laxmi Vasundio, Kirsch Donis, Dr. Stephanie Texera, Fran Minacchio, and Laura Murphy. To Fran and Lori, let me give a special shout out and congratulations as they both are retiring this year. Thank you so much for your service to Worcester State. I'm aware that several faculty members and staff who have handled hard in their personal lives in the midst of the pandemic with extraordinary grace, while also somehow managing to keep things running smoothly in their schools, in their department, and for their students. I won't mention you all by names, but I offer my personal gratitude to all of you, and I deeply appreciate your commitment to your colleagues and to our students. Resilience. It's not a quality often associated with this generation, yet each and every student here today has shown it while they've been here at Worcester State University. Students, things may never get easier, as Carol Lawson said, but you already know how to handle hard. I have no doubt that your stories will be the ones that we tell on our 200th anniversary as you join the brave yet humble and giving Lancer leaders who came before you. Class of 2024, congratulations and best wishes. We have an additional presentation this afternoon. The university has a tradition of recognizing trustees as they leave the board. Today, we recognize two of them. Would Caitlin Schott and William Mosley please come forward? Caitlin Schott is a graduate from Hampshire Regional High School, where she ran cross country, as well as competed in track and field. As a freshman at Worcester State, she was active with the Clues and served on the All-University Committee, the Alden Teaching Committee, the Bias Incident Response Team, and the Academic Judicial Board. As a student trustee, she represented the voice of all students. Caitlin worked on campus all 4 years in conference and event services, where she trained and even supervised staff. She graduates with a business degree with management concentration and a minor in economics. Following graduation, she hopes to work in events or hospitality services. Congratulations, Caitlin. Will Mosley has been a member of the Board of Trustees from 2019 through 2024. Will is a captain with the Worcester Fire Department since 2017. He serves as the department's diversity officer, and he is an operations line officer who serves as an academy instructor. As diversity officer, he leads the department's charge to increase diversity throughout the community and well with recruiting, ensuring equity for the entire department. Will joined the Board of Trustees at the university in 2019, and he has served on the Planning and Development Committee, the Academic and Student Development Committee, as well as the Finance Committee. Will's experience and public service knowledge served the board well during his review of the institution's DEI work, which later became a standing agenda item for the board. Thank you, Will, for your service to the Board of Trustees, and your dedication to this institution will be missed. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce our student speaker, Alexander Martel. Alexander is a Worcester native and grew up in a traditional Puerto Rican household. He enlisted in the military in 2020 and serves as a non-commissioned officer E4 corporal in the United States Marine Corps. Yeah. At Worcester State, Alexander partnered with the Health Sciences Department to organize educational field trips for high schoolers, exposing them to various careers and healthcare professions. In his spare time, he supports the Net of Compassion Homeless Ministry and is engaged with the music ministry at his local church along with his wife, Jesselina Rivera Martel, and their daughter, Yalina Roja. Please join me in welcoming Alexander Martel.
What a grand and beautiful crowd. Let's give them a round of applause. Good morning and welcome to Worcester State's 2024 Commencement. Buenos días y bienvenidos a Worcester State's 2024 Commencement. Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, and fellow graduates, as we stand on the threshold of a new chapter in our lives, it is essential to reflect on the journey that has brought us to this moment. I would like to thank our president, trustees, faculty, and staff for all their diligence, effort, goodwill that has assisted us in achieving our academic success. As we reflect on our time at Worcester State University, let us acknowledge the invaluable lessons we have learned both inside and outside the classroom. Our education has not only equipped us with knowledge and skills, but has also instilled in us a sense of purpose and passion. As Worcester State Lancers, we have evolved through time, and through time have embodied the characteristics of warriors, of which Lancers represent. We, such as those warriors, have portrayed resilience, loyalty, adaptability, and perseverance throughout our time at Worcester State. As leaders of your community and future representatives of your craft, I want to share a few words of wisdom to carry with you on your journey ahead. On this wonderful morning, we celebrate not only our academic accomplishments, but also the personal growth and resilience that have brought us to this moment. For me, this day is more than just receiving a diploma. It is about honoring the memory and promise I made to my brother Edwin Exiel Acosta. I promised him I would always strive for more and never for less. And so with his spirit by my side, I forged ahead, determined to make him proud. Therefore, on this day, rejoice with your peers. Rejoice with your peers. Rejoice with your loved ones. And may the spirit of those who cannot be here today inspire you, their love sustain you, and their memory drive you to reach new heights of success and fulfillment, because you have indeed earned your merits. Take this moment to express gratitude to our families, friends, and mentors who have supported us on this journey. We all have had that one professor or that one staff member that truly focused on our well-being, that has led us to complete this milestone. I, for one, am the product of professors who sought out my academic success, even throughout the toughest moment of my life. They were a beacon of light guiding me forward, which gave me power to rise above adversity and emerge stronger than before. In the face of uncertainty, let us embrace change as an opportunity for growth and transformation. As Lancers, in face of challenges, you have demonstrated that you can improvise, adapt, and overcome. Those late night study sessions, those 10-page research papers, and those nerve-wracking presentations were simply tools to prepare you to be comfortable even in the most uncomfortable situations. Our education does not end here. Let us remain lifelong learners, committed to personal and professional growth. Know yourself and seek self-improvement. Our education at Worcester State has provided us with a solid foundation, but the pursuit of lifelong learning ensures that we stay knowledgeable of emerging trends, technologies, and ideas, enabling us to thrive in our chosen fields and make meaningful contributions to society. Follow your passions and pursue your purpose with unwavering dedication and determination. We all have distinct aspirations and visions. However, believe in your heart that you are the one to transform your environment, your community, and your life. Whether you started at Worcester State right out of high school or began your secondary education later in your life, you have demonstrated to the world that you have chased after your dreams with a relentless passion and persistence, knowing that within each one of you lies the power to turn your wildest aspirations into reality. Within each of you also lies the power to affect profound change in your surroundings, because we possess the strength to create positive change in the world, transcending barriers of race, ethnicity, gender, age, religion, and education. Beyond the personal lessons learned in my life, my military service has instilled in me a deep sense of duty and service to others. It has shown me the importance of standing up for what is right, even in the face of adversity, and the power of teamwork and collaboration in achieving our goals. Together, we are stronger. Let us build inclusive communities and collaborate to create positive change in the world. You too are important and have incomparable value. With that in mind, let us cultivate a global mindset, recognizing our interconnectedness and collective moral responsibility to create a better world for all. We can utilize our newly acquired skills learned at Worcester State to enlighten others around the world. Learn from setbacks and failures, for they are opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Use those failures as stepping stones to a greater success. There are moments where you may feel set back because of a couple failed courses, because you deferred a semester from school, because you did not achieve that A in a class. But recognize that above all the obstacles, we rose to the occasion and demonstrated resilience in the face of failure. Failure is only a detour to the path of success. As future leaders, let us lead with integrity, empathy, and a commitment to social responsibility. You are the ambassadors of the truth, righteousness, and honesty. Here at Worcester State, we have passionate men and women who have overseen the success of First Generation Nation, Military Connected and Veterans Club, Student Senate, Christian Fellowship, Black Student Union, Women of Color in STEM, and many more. We acknowledge and applaud you for your unwavering dedication to all these organizations. Above all, I challenge you to approach life with kindness and compassion. In a world that can sometimes feel dark and divided, let's be beacons of hope and humanity, spreading love wherever we go. For it is through acts of kindness that we can truly make a difference in the world. As we embark on this new chapter in our lives, make sure we carry with us the lessons we have learned, the friendships we have forged, and the memories we have made. Together, let us dare to dream, to aspire, and to create a future filled with hope, possibility, and endless potential. This morning, as we celebrate our achievements, en esta mañana, al celebrar nuestros logros, let us also express gratitude. Vamos a expresar gratitud, not only to those who have supported us along the way, no solamente a aquellos que nos han apoyado en el camino, such as our families, friends, and mentors, como nuestras familias, amigos, y mentores, but to you, my fellow graduates, because you did it. Pero a ustedes, mis queridos compañeros de clase, porque ustedes lo lograron. Our unwavering belief, efforts, and determination have been the foundation of our success. Nuestra creencia inquebrantable, esfuerzo y determinación han sido la base de nuestro éxito. Congratulations, class of 2024. Our journey may have reached its conclusion, but our adventure has only just begun. Felicidades, clase del 2024. Nuestro viaje puede haber llegado a su fin, pero nuestra aventura apenas comienza. Thank you and God bless. Muchas gracias y Dios me lo bendiga. It gives me great pleasure to welcome and introduce our commencement speaker, Adrienne Hazlitt. Adrienne Hazlitt is not new to the stage. She has been dancing since she was 7, becoming a professional ballroom dancer when, in 2013, as a spectator at the Boston Marathon, she survived the terrorist bombing near the finish line. Today, she not only dances, she is also a runner and completed 2 Boston Marathons, 5 Boston Athletic Association 5Ks, and took first place in the 2022 BAA 10K, a personal goal she has chased for 6 years. A believer in say your goals out loud, please join me with a loud Lancer welcome to our 148th commencement speaker, Miss Adrienne Hazlitt.
Good morning, Worcester State. Am I saying that right? Worcester? All right, then I can keep talking. What an honor to be here with you and to join in the chorus celebrating the 2024 graduating class of Worcester State University. A very special hello to President Maloney, Provost Wims, honored alumni, faculty, family, and friends. When I was first invited to speak today, I have to admit I was a bit shocked. That shock turned to a humble honor and immense gratitude after I met with the students and faculty. They spoke of the dedication, the grit, and the determination of this group of graduates. One student shared that these are the most passionate peers she has ever met. A faculty member said it best, that you have formed such a strong community here, and not just here, on a college campus, and not just any college campus, but Worcester State. You see, one of the reasons I was a bit shocked when they reached out to me is that despite the robe and the hat and standing here on this stage before you today, I didn't actually go to college. When I was just 3 days old, I was adopted into a loving, wonderful family. I grew up with 2 perfect twin brothers who did everything right, were always on time, always at home on time, and got straight A's and went off to private college. And then there was me. Growing up, the families are laughing because they've got that one too. Growing up in my parents' independent books and record store right outside of Seattle, Washington, we of course didn't own a television. The first time I saw a TV was sneaking out of my room after I'd already been put to bed at my aunt's house. And I hid behind a chair while all of the adults in the room were drinking the grape juice from their fancy glasses. And I snuck downstairs, and I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I hid behind my grandmother's chair. You know, the one that's made out of carpet and it smells really bad. And I had my giant Coke bottle glasses and my bright red hair, and I was about 8 years old, and I stuck my face against that smelly chair, and I looked at the screen, and it was a film, a black and white film of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Fred Astaire, named after my service dog. Service dog is named after Fred Astaire. And it was the film Cheek to Cheek. And Ginger Rogers was doing everything Fred Astaire did, better, backwards, and in high heels. And they were ballroom dancing. Yeah, you know the film. And Ginger Rogers was in a silk organza gown and ostrich feathers, and my little jaw hit the floor. I was smitten. I couldn't believe how beautiful she was and how graceful she was. And I somehow managed to sneak back upstairs without my family noticing. And in the true attention span of a child, the next morning at the breakfast table, I put my little fists up and said, I want to be a ballroom dancer when I grow up. And that was that. I danced through elementary, middle, and high school, and then people started talking about this thing called college. Now, to paint a picture of my experience hearing about college, every night at our dinner table, because of my parents' bookstore, were traveling musicians, writers, and artists. They told stories about how they followed their dreams in a VW van and did just fine. And I thought, well, that sounds pretty easy. I gave myself 1 year to make it. My parents were not happy that I didn't go to college, and they couldn't have been more disappointed. They told me, you have to get a job, earn your own money, and get a place to live. And they probably found out that I was a motivational speaker at that point because I said, that's only 3 things. They couldn't have been more disappointed though, but I was determined. I had a dream. I auditioned and auditioned and auditioned, and I finally went pro as a ballroom dancer. I traveled and competed and performed all over the globe in glittering dresses next to top hat and tails dancers, and it was just as exciting as it sounds. So exciting, in fact, I made it all the way to Boston from Seattle to compete further, and I made it to 3rd in the world in my company in dance. After that, I decided to take a day off. Thank you. I walked past the Boston Marathon. I thought, this must be some kind of parade where they're cheering on runners. I had been in Boston already for 5 years, and I had never heard of the Boston Marathon. People that get bronzed and bedazzled and lashes and glitter don't often cross paths with people who sweat in public. For fun. I thought it was a parade, and I asked someone nearby, hey, what's going on here? And they said, it's the Boston Marathon. And I said, how far does that go? And they said 26.2 miles. And I said, for a statement necklace and a free banana? That makes no sense at all. But I still had respect for the athletes and their determination and their grit. So I decided to stay and watch. And just as I walked away from the finish line about 3 blocks, I heard a loud blast behind me. The ground shook. I saw black smoke everywhere, and I knew we were under attack. I saw policemen with their guns drawn and runners now running in all directions. I placed both of my hands over my ears and immediately went down. I later learned, as I watched surveillance footage because of the trial, that I had been walking next to a terrorist for 1.5 blocks when he dropped the backpack at my 2 feet and walked away and detonated a bomb. I opened my eyes and all I saw was gray. I felt like there was a building on top of me, but there wasn't. I lifted my right leg and saw a giant gash and blood everywhere. And I tried to lift my left leg, and I tried to lift my left leg, and I tried again, and I realized I was, but my leg was gone. I thought 2 things. Number 1, there goes Ginger. And 2, there is no way that my family and friends can make it in time to say goodbye. How selfish of me for going after this one very, very vain dream. My life was saved many times that day. First, by an off-duty doctor who applied 2 tourniquets on my legs, and second, by my Superman surgeon. The coming days were long and frightening. I did an interview with Anderson Cooper, who asked if I'd ever dance again. Somewhere deep inside me, I said yes. I think I can, or at least I think I can try. That felt so good to say my dream out loud that I then said, I think I want to also run the Boston Marathon as a thank you to all of Boston who's poured so much Boston strong strength into all of us survivors. As my dad is waving his arms in the background saying, you don't run, you forged notes in high school to get out of running the obligatory mile. You would never sweat in public, Adrian, never. And he was right, but I had a dream. And later that evening, a doctor, not my doctor, came into the room and said, listen, I saw your interview on Anderson Cooper. I've been here 20 years at this hospital, almost 20 years, and I heard you wanted to dance again, and I just wanted to let you know we have to be realistic about people's dreams around here. I've never met an amputee dancer. I just want you to know you shouldn't have hope. Yeah, same. I couldn't believe it. I raised my finger in the air, and it may not have been this one, and I said, if my chances are 1 in a million, I will be that one. And that brings me to a lesson I want to share with you, graduates. That brings me to the lesson that I want to share with you, with my finger in the air as well. When someone tells you something can't be done, it is more of a reflection of their limitations and not yours. I'll say it again. When someone tells you something cannot be done, it is more of a reflection of their limitations and not yours. That counts for teachers, professors, me, parents, and your peers. If you believe it can be done, that's all it takes. Weeks later, I was checking out of the hospital with my Superman surgeon. He held my discharge papers in his hand, and he said, "Adrian, I need you to make me 3 promises." And we were both sobbing. I'm sure it goes without saying how close all of us got to our surgeons and our life-saving doctors and nurses and OTs and PTs that put our bodies back together. He and I were so tight, we're still tight. His daughter is becoming a ballroom dancer, and we talk every week. I know, right? He was holding my discharge papers and asked me to make 3 promises. Promise number 1, promise you won't let anyone else take out your stitches. I said, I have trust issues now. I've literally gone to him for a blister. Absolutely, I promise, that's an easy one. And he said, Adrian, promise number 2, when you dance again, not if, you tell me, whether that's on a stage or in your kitchen, and I will be there to cheer you on. With tears streaming down my face, I said I promise, even though I didn't believe I could. And promise number 3, Adrian, when you run the Boston Marathon, not if, you tell me and I will be there to cheer you on, track every step, and be there at the finish line. And I said, I promise, even though I didn't believe I could do it. But this is the lesson I learned, graduates, to believe in the conviction of others, even when you may not believe it yourself. I knew that this was a very smart surgeon that I trusted with my life, that my family trusted with my life. If he believed I could do it, I believed him. And now listen, I don't like making sweeping judgments about everyone in a room. We're getting away from that these days, and I'm happy about it, but I am gonna make this one sweeping judgment. None of us need help doubting ourselves, right? But we sure as heck need help believing in ourselves. And I want you to look around this stadium right now. Your classmates to your left and to your right, your faculty, your family, and your friends, and me. We all believe in you. When you apply for that job, when you take that leap, when you give that presentation, and you begin to doubt your ability, know that we, everyone here right now in this stadium, stand firm in our conviction to say, you can do it. Remember this moment right here, sitting here. You already have what it takes. I went on to not only fulfill promise number 1 of letting him take out my stitches, but promise number 2 of dancing again. And there with my Superman surgeon in the audience. Then it was time for promise number 3, to run the Boston Marathon. I was untrained and naive. In fact, I only ran 10 miles to train. Yeah, that should get a laugh because it was ridiculous. And I thought what anyone would think, well, shoot, I could double that and add 6. Forever optimistic, I guess. And there I stood at the start line for the 2016 Boston Marathon. I heard people talk about preparation, hydration, hills, fueling, training runs, and I panicked. I stood there and thought, oh no, oh no. I had the worst imposter syndrome of my life. That is when a friend turned to me and shared the greatest lesson that I want to share with not only the graduates, but everyone in this room right now, including faculty. They turned to me and said, Adrian, what will get you to the finish line is nothing compared to what got you to the start. I'll say that again. What will get you to the finish line is nothing compared to what got you to the start. So often we look at the monumental task ahead of us, 26.2 miles, going to Worcester State for 4 years and getting your diploma, going to graduate school, getting and starting a family. We look at this monumental task ahead of us, forgetting about all of the things that have already brought us to that start line. It's easy to think of only the long road ahead. You've navigated some of your biggest accomplishments and your most devastating disappointments, not to mention endless deadlines. You've problem solved, failed, and picked yourself back up. You've conquered and fought to stay ahead of your doubts and fears, and here you sit today, at both a finish line and a start line. Relish in it, graduates. You've done it. So as you look ahead, never forget to also look back at this moment and these past 4 years that it took you to get to this finish line. As I stood at that start line for my first marathon, I was intimidated, yes, of course. But I knew I had learned to walk on a foot I could not feel that was underneath me, learned how to navigate New England winter snow and ice. I couldn't feel my foot underneath, whether that was snow or ice, and I learned to dance. I knew my road ahead for the next 26.2 miles would be long, but I also knew I could do it. It just may take a little longer than the runners to my right and the runners to my left. And the gun went off, and I ran for about 0.6 miles. And then I stopped, walked, sat on a curb to rest, hugged every first responder I saw, stopped for a burger and a beer, walked some more, took shots with some of the girls at Wellesley, took a few more shots with some of the boys at BU, took another nap in a medical tent because of said shots with college students. You guys can hold it better than I can. And still, I moved forward. My naivete didn't notice 30,000 runners pass me as I came across that famed finish line dead last in the Boston Marathon at a time of 10 hours and 44 minutes. Just minutes, thank you. Just minutes after I finished and crossed that finish line, then President Barack Obama tweeted me and said, "Thank you, Adrian, for being Boston strong. Terror and bombs can't beat us. We carry on and we finish the race." My Superman surgeon was watching and cheering as I crossed my longest finish line yet, the third and final promise delivered. You see, graduates, the road ahead is uncertain, long, and has many, many turns. You may not feel like you always belong in the communities, classrooms, and boardrooms you find yourselves in. You may also feel judged for being yourself. I felt this way when I advocated for a new division in the Boston Marathon. You see, when I came in dead last, being the ultra-competitive person that I am, I wondered what it would be like to come in first place, maybe break the tape even. I found there are no races for blade runners like me, not even in the Paralympics still today, no matter how many times I call them or show up at their offices. They only allow us to run 200 meters, and that's it. People with disabilities are the largest minority in this country, crossing all social, economic, and racial backgrounds. We are the largest population that doesn't vote because we are never talked about in politics and rarely accounted for in everyday conversation. And I didn't like the sound of that at all. I fought hard and finally got a new division for my fellow amputees with limb difference. You know those videos on YouTube where you show someone that just got into Worcester State, or someone's getting a puppy, or kids are going to Disneyland, and you watch the video and you don't even know them, but you're so excited because they're excited? That evening after the press announcement on this new division, I was sent hundreds of videos from people telling their fellow friends with limb difference that they could one day win the Boston Marathon. Remember, graduates, if you don't see yourself in the room you are in, knock those tables over, knock that ceiling down, crash the entire staircase if you must, until you are heard and seen and included. We talk a lot in this country about diversity, and that's a start, I guess. But also remember, diversity is being invited to the dance. Inclusion is being asked to dance. In life, you may be knocked down more than once. I know this. And you graduates, you already know this. You were raised in schools with shootings and drills, terror attacks and wars in the news, closures, and have already been robbed of your high school proms and graduations due to COVID. You know loss. You know it very well. You know disappointment very well. You know heartache, and you know what it's like to be frightened of the future, perhaps more than any graduating class in this nation's history. So the question is, How do we take all of that hurt and loss and do some good with it? This is how. You remember your resilience. Webster's dictionary defines resilience as the capacity to withstand or recover quickly from difficulties, and the ability of a substance or object to spring back into shape, elasticity. I also know a thing or two about resiliency, and I know when I'm looking at a group of unstoppable, badass, incredible, resilient humans. Yet I also know what we are called when we are outspoken, strong, resilient, determined humans who want to change the world. We're told we're a bit much, or too much, or an iteration of such, right? They don't know what to do with people as resilient as us, as feisty as us, as motivated as us, as educated as, well, you. So I want to end this charge forward into your new chapter by reciting a poem by one of my favorite poets, Lindsay Rush, titled, She's a Bit Much. A new way to think about being a bit much the next time you're told. You mean like a bonus French fry in the bottom of the bag? Like a champagne shower? Like triple texting good news? Like buying coffee for the person behind you in line? Or did you mean a bit much like an unexpected upgrade to business class? Or theme parties? Or the band pretending to go off stage and then coming back for an unforgettable encore? Perhaps you were referring to that thing of being astonished by a sunset, or how puppies flop around when they learn how to run, or how some people take karaoke way too seriously. Maybe you just meant sprinkles, confetti, balloon drops, witty comebacks, generous tips, fireworks, water slides, serotonin, cherries on top. And the fact that maybe we're put on this planet simply to enjoy ourselves, then yes, I agree, she's a bit much. And aren't we so lucky she's here? Graduates, we are those who have stood in the fire and faced the scary, the terror, the hurt, the pain, and instead of letting the flames destroy us, we became those flames, and I know you will continue to let those flames burn, rage even, in boardrooms and communities and voting booths. I was once a broken, blown-up ballroom dancer in a hospital bed. I'm now a full-time motivational speaker who travels the world inspiring people to live their best lives on the front lines of hard times from Kenya to Ecuador, Nepal, Iceland, Ireland, Copenhagen, from NASA, Google, and Microsoft, and many other nonprofits and hospitals and corporations. It feels incredible to go from needing constant approval from judges in ballrooms to selflessly helping people through their hardest times. Here's to being a bit much on the side of resilience. Here's to never letting the flame engulf you. Here's to standing at both your starting line and your finish line. Here's to you. Congratulations, 2024 graduating class of Worcester State. You are Boston Strong. Congratulations. Can I just leave that there? Thank you.
Thank you, Adrian. Very inspiring. Adrian Hazlitt was a professional ballroom dancer at the height of her career. When she survived the 2013 Boston Marathon terrorist attack, losing her left leg, she quickly arose to meet this challenge with a renewed sense of reality, fierce determination, and Boston strong fortitude. Ms. Hazlitt bravely and courageously relearned basic skills and acquired new ones through her first year as an amputee, documented by CNN for a behind-the-scenes story of triumph and resilience entitled The Survivor Diaries with Anderson Cooper. She would later grace the covers of such magazines as Sports Illustrated, People, and Time. She was named one of Cosmopolitan magazine's 2013 Most Powerful Women and Bing's Most Inspirational Women. Displaying strength and determination as an advocate for others, Ms. Hazlitt spoke alongside then Vice President Joseph Biden, President Bill Clinton, and the President of Nepal. Her debut as TEDx talk, What to Say When You Don't Know What to Say, received more than 18 million views. Traveling the globe, she has given keynote addresses to thousands in Kenya, Ecuador, Nepal, Ireland, and Copenhagen, and across several provinces throughout Canada. She was honored by the Anti-Defamation League in 2016 for her work speaking out against terrorism, anti-Semitism, and hate. Ms. Hazlitt has become a distance runner and has completed multiple Boston marathons and BAA 10Ks. In 2022, she won first place in the BAA 10K T61 to T64 division. She speaks out against restrictions to Medicare, and she spearheaded the campaign to turn over the one leg a lifetime law in New York, as well as Medicare's proposal to decline prosthetic coverage. She resides in Barnstable County with her Australian Labradoodle service dog, Fred. Therefore, and in recognition of your strength, advocacy, and determination to share your emotional journey with honesty and bravery, to speak for the disadvantaged, and to speak out against terrorism and hate for the residents of Buzzards Bay, Massachusetts, and beyond, Worcester State University confers upon you, Adrienne Hazlitt, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Thank you so much. The George I. Alden Excellence in Teaching Award is the highest honor Worcester State bestows upon faculty. These faculty members exemplify excellence in teaching, advising, and mentoring. Dr. Anthony Delara, please stand. Dr. Delara is an associate professor of political science focusing on American politics and public policy. As the inaugural fellow for the Edward M. Kennedy Institute for the United States Senate, Dr. Delara led the university's annual Constitution Day programming, trained students to lead legislative simulations, prepared students to serve as Election Day poll workers, and organized campus fora for political candidates, elected officials, and electoral debates. He serves on the Worcester Zoning Board of Appeals and as a political analyst for various media outlets. He has also been awarded the Benenda Center's Faculty Civic Engagement Award. Thank you, Dr. Delara. Dr. Laura Reynolds is our second recipient. Dr. Reynolds is an assistant professor of Earth, Environment, and Physics with a commitment to active learning, emphasizing that geology is all around us. It is in the foundation of our buildings, in the walkways, under our feet, and underlies the shape of the landscape almost anywhere we go. Recognizing the importance of learning from failures as a crucial aspect of scientific endeavors, she imparts this philosophy to her students through her flexible and adaptable teaching approach. Dr. Reynolds has been the recipient of several ISACU Summer Research Grants and WSU Faculty Scholarship and Creative Grants, and she maintains an active lab with undergraduates. Thank you, Dr. Laura Reynolds.
Drive. It's in every single one of us.
It motivates us to take action and pursue our dreams.
Along our journey, there have been all kinds of signs.
Sometimes our drive gets off track, and we need to take a new route.
But one thing stays true. There are always people there.
And here to guide you along the way.
I love Worcester State. To have somewhere that feels as comfortable as your home as the school does is very life-changing.
I felt welcomed. Every club that I wanted to be a part of, they welcomed me with open arms.
The Worcester State community has definitely motivated me into where I am today. I love being a part of student groups on campus.
There's nothing compared to actually being there and putting yourself into that environment.
I've had a lot of great professors here. It's the importance of being able to connect with your teacher.
Not just teaching us the subject matter, but helping us grow into better humans. I want to thank my family for helping to support me coming to Worcester State and going to college.
For guiding me from when I was a little girl to being here in college now and graduating.
It makes me feel proud because they've done everything for me, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you for supporting me and always believing in me and pushing me to be a better person.
You've always wanted me to follow my own path and to succeed in any way that I felt fit.
Thank you so much for seeing this through. I love you guys very much.
Class of 2024, we are the future.
We are driven to create a better world.
We are in control of our own destiny.
We choose our path.
Your drive brought you here.
Now, let's see where it takes you.
Now is the time we have all been waiting for. We'll proceed with the awarding of degrees. In order that we can all share in the enjoyment of this most important part of the ceremonies, I would ask everyone to remain seated until all degrees are confirmed and the ceremony concludes. Degrees will be presented by Trustee Taylor and other trustees on one side and by President Maloney on the other. The candidates for education, liberal, and interdisciplinary studies will be announced by Dean Reynold Lewis. Candidates from the School of Science, Technology, and Health will be announced by Dean Linda Larrabee. And the candidates from the School of Humanities and Social Sciences will be announced by Dean Russ Pottle. A word to our graduates: please return to your original seat after you receive your diploma. Your classmates who follow you across the stage will be most grateful. To the audience, we ask you to hold your applause so that all may be able to hear the next graduate name as it is called. Will all baccalaureate degree candidates please rise? President Maloney and Trustee Taylor, I have the distinct honor to present to you the candidates for baccalaureate degrees.
By the authority of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, vested in the Board of Higher Education, and by it delegated to the Board of Trustees, the President and faculty of this university, I am proud to confer 940 baccalaureate degrees.
Now announcing the graduates from biology. Amy Louise McLashing, summa cum laude.
Now announcing graduates from art. Fiona Wilson, magna cum laude.
Cindy Pratt, magna cum laude.
Libia Amparo Goncalves, summa cum laude.
Chloe Alexis LaPierre.
Now announcing the graduates from Business Administration, Emma P. Davis, summa cum laude.
Anna R. Salomon.
Joanna Marie Cavaliero, summa cum laude.
Mary S. Scott.
Zina Anal.
Brendan Patrick Ronan.
Kaylee Lynn Peterson, cum laude.
Hazim Al Nassar.
Amanda Lynn Peduzzi.
Stephanie Kelly McGinnis.
Mackenzie Jane Reinhardt.
Colin Patrick Fitzgerald.
Odelia M. Conadu.
Riley John Whalen.
Zolan Natal Dangerfield.
Sama Kanji, magna cum laude.
Jason Vuong, magna cum laude.
Aspen Jeng, magna cum laude.
Emily L. Erickson.
Alexis Doko.
Ada Ajadi.
Mackenzie Elizabeth Volmer.
Brady Troiner Lundell, summa cum laude.
Grace Julius Adams, magna cum laude.
Luke Maunder.
Teresa Marie Fitzgerald.
Sabrina Rose Wentworth, magna cum laude.
Michaela Redfern.
Justine Taylor Lynch, cum laude.
Danielle Opuku Ware.
Selena Anastasia Sanchez.
Frederick Nodoro Matuni.
Bethany Sharon Ross, cum laude.
JC Howdy Trinidad.
Manuel Ramirez.
Chelsea
Andy Ramirez.
Chelsea Opuku Boteng.
Ethan Julian Escobar.
Tafatwa Violet Payne.
Michael Anthony Wilson, cum laude.
Carissa Olsen.
Brian Patrick Clougherty, cum laude.
V. Ha.
Ryan Edward Rubinskas.
Sarah Margaret Rose Doyle, summa cum laude.
Daniel J. DeVerde, cum laude.
Dominic T. Stabello.
Alexander James Robidoux.
Rokai Alalusi, summa cum laude.
Tyler R. Leno.
Kenwal Shazad, cum laude.
Arton Krasinski.
Arkanata Kafle.
Michael Brady Dobbs.
Absatu Amadu.
Kevin M. Russo, magna cum laude.
Kairales Rubero.
Andrew James Noonan.
Brandon J. Botero Manatos.
Tyler James Lavalley.
Gabriella Lynn Karen.
Dawson Edward Jim.
Abdullah Al Abdadi, magna cum laude.
Benjamin Bailey Smith.
Beck A.J. Naomi.
Thomas Andrew Hollowell, cum laude.
Joe Smith Mutami Mogo, magna cum laude.
Benjamin J. Savoy.
Kwaku Ampamsa.
Aya M. Abazaid.
Raphael B. Fame.
Nurhan Majid Al-Zuhari.
Natalia Polizio Forenza, magna cum laude.
Ariel R. Zooks.
Now announcing the graduates from biotechnology, Danielle Alejandro Navas.
Femi Suzette Silviero Arias.
Adam G. Helfenbein, cum laude.
Crystal Fernandez Duval.
Kwaika A. Bonzu.
Abigail Elizabeth Barrialt.
Sheila K. Badu.
Kate Elizabeth Foley.
Kwan Pham.
James Crossman III, magna cum laude.
Manashai Chai Doko.
Tyler Owen McCool, magna cum laude.
Jeremy Bullock.
Larry Devonte Pinkney.
Adam Edward Schenk.
Valerie B. Clement, magna cum laude.
Alondra Lopez Abreu.
Catherine Reyes.
Anacate Kinyer, summa cum laude.
Yara Amshama, cum laude.
Jessica Rose Brady.
Sumaya Shazedi, magna cum laude.
Katsana Sapulak.
Libya Tariq, magna cum laude.
Claudia Lorena Maravilla.
Anthony Cuozo.
Tai An Hong Hun, magna cum laude.
John
Now
T.
announce-
Mackin.
Now announcing the graduates from chemistry. Lionel Cohen Gabe.
Kevin Stephen Palmero.
Andrew Scott Marinini.
William George Harmon.
Ni Vu Nguyen.
Andrew Robert Colento.
Alicia Sacco, magna cum laude.
Cameron J. Chabelle.
Samuel Gennaro Satnik.
Amanda Rose Ricard, magna cum laude.
Kimberly Thim Vo.
Stephen Howe Tu, cum laude.
Now announcing the graduates from Communication Sciences and Disorders. Hannah Lee Piccioni, magna cum laude.
Meredith Megan Rosario.
Jordan Alexandra Staples, summa cum laude.
Tanner Rode Reynaud.
Delani E. Murphy.
Rose Armida Salerno.
Jenna Winokur, magna cum laude.
Philip Sakai.
Emma I. Tellier, cum laude.
Wilson E. Abar.
Kiara Marie Horrigan, magna cum laude.
Victor Florentino.
Samantha R. Kelleher, summa cum laude.
Zaire Trevor Pert.
Teresa Rose Nissenbaum, magna cum laude.
Ian Jahia.
Alexia Nicole Merera, summa cum laude.
Jake Carlos Mendez.
Riley J. Myers, magna cum laude.
Anthony Prashad.
Isabella Grace LaCourcia.
Michelangelo Rodriguez.
Brianna Elizabeth Ward, magna cum laude.
Kevin Min Win.
Now announcing the graduates from Computer Science. Jacob Ezekiel Elbert, summa cum laude.
Ejoy Tripura, cum laude.
Kayleen Jasmine Noel.
Austin Manconglay.
Abigail Marie Frost, summa cum laude.
Anya Jane Max Laxton.
Samuel M. Najuna, magna cum laude.
Sydney Grace Valtour.
Angela Seiji, magna cum laude.
Gabriella Marjorie Dillenbach.
Abraham Thomas Passmore, summa cum laude.
Grace Marie Dowd, magna cum laude.
Raquel Vieira.
Rochelle Marie Blaze.
Iman Condaciu.
Jessica K. Height, magna cum laude.
Abracadero.
Tammy Doan Lai, cum laude.
Elias Stephen Boone.
Darnell Joseph Campbell.
Tommy Nguyen.
Ryan Craig Justin.
Keith Francis Barassa.
Marley Alexandra Riviera.
Michael Cummings, cum laude.
Giovanna R. Jones Pierce.
Dylan J. Brown.
Priscilla Nimako.
Eli Michael Rivera Hughes, cum laude.
Akosua Pokua Konadu.
Connor Jacob Moniz.
Emily Ann Halsing, magna cum laude.
Jason Mateus Lee, magna cum laude.
Matthew Enrique Mendez.
Josiel Denzel Rivas.
Holly Marie Eppenstein, cum laude.
Andres E. Ovales.
Peter Joseph Germain.
Ryan Kameri Karanja.
Joshua T. Judge, cum laude.
Abdullah Farouk.
Odette Lorraine Althea Carty-Blurry.
John Skend.
Marissa Scopa, cum laude.
Isaac Seme Stephen.
Boadu Ajemin Primpe.
Hugh Tran, magna cum laude.
Isaac McGarrett Anning Day.
Peter Abaji Jabur.
Hang Tu Lee.
Now announcing the graduates from Environmental Science. Elizabeth R. Stone, summa cum laude.
Brandon McCullough.
Clarissa Lee Johnson, magna cum laude.
Joseph Francis Flynn III.
Umatoni Helene.
Jessica Lizette Medina.
Edward Roy Wrights III.
Lena Francesca Pereiro.
Zachary Charles Trudell, magna cum laude.
Chelsea Page English, magna cum laude.
Harley Lynn Westgate, summa cum laude.
John Buhana, cum laude.
Kaylee M. Orienka.
Thomas Gerald Barcott.
Andrew Paul Stefanik.
Vepin Michael Vekone, cum laude.
Now announcing the graduates from Geography. Timothy J. O'Leary, magna cum laude.
Noah Shakely.
Alyssa Teresa Bishop.
Tyler Thomas Joseph.
Malachi Selassie Governor.
Alexavier Joseph Bender.
Now announcing the graduates from Health Education. Melanie Barbara Crepo, summa cum laude.
Andre Escovea.
Zoe Athanasopoulos, cum laude.
Nahum Alberto Cruz, cum laude.
Stephen J. Chivalate.
Jacob Norman Downey.
Julia I. Pasquale, cum laude.
Brian Glenn Ullman.
Alina Tamang.
Jared Joseph Aguiar.
Now announcing the graduates from Mathematics. John Tung No, cum laude.
Matthew Austin Veilleux.
Jamelka Suarez Florentino, cum laude.
James Long, magna cum laude.
Jack M. Houlihan, magna cum laude.
Owen Brian Kelly, summa cum laude.
Elaine Bond.
Colby John Sprague, magna cum laude.
Cameron Michael Prosser.
Charles M. Petrosevich, magna cum laude.
Now announcing the graduates from Mathematics for Elementary Education. Brooke Candace Larson, magna cum laude.
Matthew Francis Lukasevich, cum laude.
Jessica Marie Smith, summa cum laude.
Vina P. Lay, cum laude.
Now announcing the graduates from Nursing. Caitlin Elizabeth Ferrante, magna cum laude.
Janet Essie Amakua.
Sabrina Chavez Santos, cum laude.
Sarah Ann Garabedian, cum laude.
Sarah E. Sputo.
Baron Alexander Bonilla.
Kaylee Lynn McCleary, cum laude.
William A. Andela.
Kanisha Ejewa Ajubang, cum laude.
Thomas Cole Abbott.
Ashley Elizabeth Shaughnessy.
Ethan Michael Olivier, magna cum laude.
Alexandra M. Sheehan, cum laude.
Joseph Davis McDonough.
Caitlin Grace Cummings.
Shaina T. Gwen, cum laude.
Morgan Elizabeth Dondero, cum laude.
Elijah Sean Williams.
Megan Emma Haynes.
Jack A. Charon.
Lily DeMattin.
Ashby Joel Gomez Pastor.
Kiara Marie Dempsey, cum laude.
Tui V.T. Tran.
Camille Suzanne El Paul, cum laude.
Taina Vanessa Pierre Lewis.
Gina Costa Resendez, magna cum laude.
Dina Arabdi. Cum
Just-
laude.
Jessica Lynn Dixon, cum laude.
Alexis Jordan Gentile.
Francisco Amenta.
Lauren Elizabeth Connolly, summa cum laude.
Michael Min Din, cum laude.
Now announcing the graduates from communication. Paul James Davey, magna cum laude.
Marcy Rose Giorgio, cum laude.
Ryan Neufeld, summa cum laude.
Deanna Renata Delori, magna cum laude.
Riley Stacia Patnode, summa cum laude.
Kaylee Marie Powers, cum laude.
Daniel R. Halloran.
Jacqueline May Davis.
Sean Christian Rollins.
Irina R. Miranda.
Joshua Paul Gopin.
Chloe Madeline McGreevy.
Jackson Dean Palazzini.
Summerlin Brooke Jones, magna cum laude.
Sophia Raquel Deliva, cum laude.
Megan H. Joyal.
Riley Ann Fuller, magna cum laude.
Katie Marie Murtagh, magna cum laude.
Jalina Irene Colon.
Yamilet Marie Mariquin Rivera.
Megan Rose Baruli, cum laude.
Kelsey Lynn Berkowitz.
Mark Julian Savatelli.
Paula Lewis Trabuco.
Michael V. DePolo.
Kylie Ann Cahill.
Gabriella Mary Suzanne Dentino.
Haley Faith White, cum laude.
Ryan Michael Delahoy.
Gabrielle Elizabeth Ranieri, cum laude.
Kristen Foote.
Allie E. O'Neill, cum laude.
Hai Hong Tran.
Ainsley Patton.
Amber Margaret Melanson, magna cum laude.
Abigail Denise Ponser, cum laude.
Carly Jane Gonzalez.
Julia Bell Benvenuti.
Gabriela Claire Gonzalez.
Emily Marilyn Downer.
Anthony Javier Gonzalez.
Ernie Sofita, magna cum laude.
Nudie Samuel Holgan.
Leah Graciela Veloz, magna cum laude.
Colby George Lewis.
Isa Julie Andre Marks.
Ryan Emily Jerome.
Haley Danielle Delito, cum laude.
Jaylyn Patricia Smith.
Sarah Ada, cum laude.
Ryan Patrick Needham.
Christina Marianne Burry, magna cum laude.
Samuel Thompson Dion.
Francois Elizabeth Turbo.
Jason W.
Caprini.
Nato.
Now announcing the graduates from Occupational Studies. Hannah E. O'Brien, summa cum laude.
Taylor Roti.
Kelsey Margaret Hule, magna cum laude.
Jalen Page Fleming.
Annetta Trish.
Kimberly D. Miru.
Samantha Gastingay, summa cum laude.
Alexis I. Aslanian.
Zoe Kalajikas.
Cassidy Wozniak.
Riley Nicole Grimley, summa cum laude.
Redmond Charles Jones.
Emily Julia Bursch, cum laude.
Kaylee Lillian Laflamme, cum laude.
Rachel Danielle LaPierre, magna cum laude.
Armando Antonio Estevez, cum laude.
Haley M. Barbosa, cum laude.
Liam Joyce, magna cum laude.
Erica Jane Staples, magna cum laude.
Colin Gerard Joyle, magna cum laude.
Emily Ray Bartlett, magna cum laude.
Benjamin Aaron Leibowitz.
Anna Ashley Craig.
Joshua T. Mira, magna cum laude.
Emily Eileen Dardinsky, cum laude.
Ryan P. Haney.
Miv Cadogan, cum laude.
Now announcing the graduates from Criminal Justice. Imani Gathoni Gathe.
Gina Lynn Bertolome, magna cum laude.
Miguel Antonio Lopez, magna cum laude.
Jordan Ashley Loud, cum laude.
Ramaya Daniela Kelly.
Haley G. McNeil, magna cum laude.
Kimani Ivy Brian Millwood.
Marissa Allison Catania.
Grace Olivia Demers.
Alexis Nicole Stalford, summa cum laude.
Danny Guimarães Messias.
Paige Carolyn Spivey.
Kyle M. Holmes.
Emma Jane Boudreau, magna cum laude.
Abigail Rose Calcano.
Hannah Elizabeth Rose, summa cum laude. Now announcing the graduates from Public Health. Ellen Kathleen Cook, summa cum laude. Evelyn Kamunto Onyoka.
Emily Ann Dodge.
Edna N. Buguda.
Gasak Abdulahad.
Kara Vochervin.
Lainey Page Holmes.
Myra Elizabeth DeSalle.
Jeanette Rodriguez.
Ashley Elizabeth Gibson.
Eileen Marie Gibbons.
Grace Headland.
William Toombs.
Brooke Alexandra Senator.
Samira Rose Rod.
Sarado da Cimento.
Vin Hong Tran.
Luciana Freddy Rucundo.
Raiza Veronica Rivas Falco.
Michael Eschen.
Ebony Nicole Boswell.
Katie Kofsky, magna cum laude.
Danielle Marie Martin, cum laude.
Danielle Morgan Kofsky, cum laude.
Anna Catherine Gamari, cum laude.
Michael Fan Doe.
Connor F. Bisnet.
Michaela Cher Stubbs.
Kyla E. Hancock.
Deza Marie Mata.
Casey C. Colvin.
Sydney Jane Westerland, cum laude.
Drew David Eade, magna cum laude.
Karina Mia Mejia.
Matthew D. Colella.
Tylin Brody.
Kurt Augustine Marshall Jr., cum laude.
Bridget Asamoah.
Griffin Aldo Consigli.
Jalen Ariana Abro.
Chuomeka Daniel Amici.
Madison Haley Sherman.
James Philip Wilson.
Amber Lynn Baker Palouche, cum laude.
Michael Patrick Lovelace, summa cum laude.
Sarah Ann Bialkin, magna cum laude.
Maximus D. Helms.
Ashley Carvalho Gonzalez, cum laude.
Jade Marie Savall.
Muna M. Ahmed, magna cum laude.
Kyle Evan Gonzalez.
Joseph Robert Paduzzi, cum laude.
Ryan Paul Medeiros.
Rachel Elizabeth Williams.
Riley Renee Brooks.
Kara Nancy Gilgon, magna cum laude.
Jake Daniel Popple.
Cassandra L. Donatu.
Dennis M. Guerrero.
Sarah Jane Melanson.
Rebecca Lynn Jarvis, magna cum laude.
Sophia Rose Mavricas, cum laude.
Ryan Michael Restuccia.
Christina N. Flynn.
Madeline Lene Nobrega.
Caitlin A. O'Malley.
Luciana L. Moriello, cum laude.
Casey Julia Staples, magna cum laude.
Erica Mora Lopez.
Morgan Cameron Cronin.
Zachary B. Crawford, cum laude.
Eileen Marie Long.
Andrew Joseph Lipka.
Ciara Goldner, cum laude.
Paige Eliza Huang, cum laude.
Julianne Marie Ruthier, cum laude, magna cum laude.
Isabel Margaret Leahy.
Patrick Christopher Fitzgerald.
Emily Rose Rocheleau.
Ryan J. Clark.
Carissa Lee Murphy. Jennifer
Now announcing
Marie
the
Thomas.
graduates from early childhood education. Rachel Ann Ekenes, magna cum laude.
Kimberly J. Correria.
Megan Jean Dupuy, cum laude.
Christopher Nicholas Ortiz.
Emily Frances Verezi, cum laude.
Angel Bonilla.
Brianna Morgan Anderson.
Dominic Joseph Bucchini, cum laude.
Emily Helen Pakula, cum laude.
Michaela Violet Summers.
Olivia Glorioso.
Ku Ray.
Rachel Lee Gopfert.
Claire Javon May.
Michaela Jane Christensen.
Tracy Michael.
Angie H. Morales, cum laude. Sana Al-Sagban, magna cum laude.
Alexander D. Carcio, summa cum laude.
Jordan Tremblay.
Maximilian Jacob Cleveland, magna cum laude.
Zumalina Jasmine Bangas.
Jillian Rose Gray.
Alisa Janine Laparance.
Paige Elizabeth Garrison, magna cum laude.
Emma Lee Martin.
Molly Ann Cook.
Sydney Grace Baudry.
Caleb Patrick Goyette.
Sheila Angelique Gonzalez.
Kingsley D. Anafori.
Richard Edward Horrigan.
Brittany Nefuego Obi.
Nicole Esmeralda Abrio.
Ashley A. Liriano.
Now announcing graduates from Educational Studies. Elizabeth A. Dachi.
Now announcing
Cum
the
laude.
graduates from Economics. Anthony Richard Schrum.
Jenalee Potnessel.
Giuliani Alexandria Marte Mendez.
Now announcing the graduates from Elementary Education. Ashley May Fazio, summa cum laude.
Amanda Paolo Valencia.
Madison Rose Morais, summa cum laude.
Ethan Thomas Roosevelt Bolin.
Melanie Rose May, cum laude.
Matthew Ryan John.
Madison Ann Nault, cum laude.
Anthony Louis Paolucci, magna cum laude.
Kayla Marie Manigan.
Now announcing the graduates from English. Molly Elizabeth Hughes, magna cum laude.
Lauren E. Ashworth.
Riley Ann McGovern.
Jayla Rivera Lucas, cum laude.
Nicole Janet Klaus, magna cum laude.
Nicole Lee Boucher, cum laude.
Nathaniel Joseph Baker, magna cum laude.
Alexa Crystal Kemet, cum laude.
Josh Bracero.
Emily Elizabeth McDonald, cum laude.
Kendra N. Rose.
Cassidy Elizabeth Guys.
Catherine R. Krzeski, magna cum laude.
Ella Ray Kilmartin, magna cum laude.
Rachel Rose Sullivan, cum laude.
Erin Grace Boudreau, magna cum laude.
Haley Catherine Mall.
Catherine Ann Watson, magna cum laude.
Emma Thompson, cum laude.
Olivia Grace Powell, magna cum laude.
Brooke Ellen Young, summa cum laude.
Lauren M. Ramos, magna cum laude.
Emily Rose Pappas.
Elizabeth Rose Lozanes, magna cum laude.
Sophia Chiappini Schlegelmilch, summa cum laude.
Olivia Grace Boucher, cum laude.
Tommy Sheehan, summa cum laude.
Maeve Ellen McHale.
Jonathan Jacob Petler.
Kristen Ann Brazel, cum laude.
Thanisha C. Morrow.
Ethan George Knight, cum laude.
Alex Charles Vanatwerp.
Christine M. Ruggieri, magna cum laude.
Andrew Bradley Splain.
Michaela Lynn Murphy.
Cesar Adrian Alvarado.
Tracy T. Ho.
Now announcing the graduates from history. Samantha R. Souza, summa cum laude.
Andrea R. Costa, cum laude.
Spencer Matthew Bellarosa, summa cum laude.
Now announcing graduates from liberal studies. Laura Bonita Arzo Zagora.
Tyler John Dakey, cum laude.
Alana de la Cruz Hernandez.
Dylan Pasquale Ruberti.
Andrea Signorelli.
Mackenzie Kelly Mardell Saunders, cum laude.
Caroline Frances Mahoney.
Liam Wayne Dolan, cum laude.
Kimberly O. Matos.
Michael David Perro.
Jada Mariah Frederick.
Maxwell Benedict Engel.
Jamil S. Ahmed.
David M. Gagnon Jr.
Jasmine Abelard.
Matthew Frost Gonzalez.
Linda Lupitang.
Cameron T. Anderson, cum laude.
Loan Kim Tran.
Mackenzie Rose Baldinger.
Chantel Marie Benoit.
Jackson S. Vickery.
Brianna Point de Jour.
Veronica M. Mason, magna cum laude.
Tane B. Garcelle.
Lauren Rose Dube, magna cum laude.
Masto Testudo Terragin.
Kylie Taylor Dion.
Cragen Anthony Narocki.
Zachary A. Merriam, magna cum laude.
Angelica Marie Burgess.
Edward C. Tolson. Hayden Joseph Ramsey. Thomas Daniel O'Connor. Logan Alexander Morales, summa cum laude. Now announcing the graduates from political science. Jacqueline Olivia Robinshaw, summa cum laude. Nicholas Henry Holm, cum laude. Riley Patricia Rose Biron, cum laude. Michael Edward Furman. Now announcing the graduates from psychology. Ryan E. Anderson, summa cum laude. Nia Catherine Earl. Carolyn Elizabeth Wheeler, cum laude. Abigail D. Barrett. Brittany Claire Ward, magna cum laude. Vanessa Guinan Numau. Shahad Karim. Victoria E. Swanson. Madison Kramer. Brooke Anita Callahan. Alicia Jade Krychuk, magna cum laude. Cara Cynthia Prunier, summa cum laude. Hannah Curtis Leahy, cum laude. Megan Christine Hastings, magna cum laude. Caitlin Rose DeCenso. Monique Elizabeth Cormier. Brooke Marie Gagne. Andres Osorno. Olga Carrion Martinez. Casey Jordan Ayotte, magna cum laude. Zoe Laura Richmond, magna cum laude. Brianna R. Hall. Felicia Ann Clyburn. Kayla E. Lovell. Naylan Hilario. Mia A. Perron, cum laude. Valerie Maria Rafe, cum laude. Kira Alexis Landry. Lanaya Danielle Brandt, cum laude. April Kennedy Salter. Lilu Tyler Shaw Hamilton. Aquila Santana Dalby. Emma Ryan Found. Naya Augusta Thomas, magna cum laude. Anna Rebecca Bechtold Soto. Kaylee Marie Fleischer. Jason Drop. Cameron Elizabeth Derrick. Abigail Judith Catherine Poplowski, cum laude. Jaden S. Brown, summa cum laude. Anna Pamela Puello. Kayla K. Leong, magna cum laude. Maxwell James Farrell, cum laude. Christy Leigh Barber. Kimberly Azucena Petronio Merlos. Brendan James Castle. Ava R. Zindosian, magna cum laude. Aveen Ann O'Brien. Sean Patrick Hardy. Sarah Ashley Dukas. Corey A. Jasinski. Megan Mary McNamara, magna cum laude. Rachel Irene Ryu. Rebecca C. Hilliard, magna cum laude. Emily N. Lunn. Jennifer McLaughlin, cum laude. Emily Anya Rose Solonich, cum laude. Kayla L. Brewer. Ava Renee Thompson, summa cum laude. Brianna Marie Releves. Brianna Taylor Pelledu, summa cum laude. Scout Richardson Baudouin, summa cum laude. Jessica Lindsay Rancourt, summa cum laude. Avery Nicole LeBlanc, magna cum laude. Gianna Nicole Rivera. Isabella Rose Vukmoritz, summa cum laude. Jessica Elaine Constantidis, cum laude. Haley Paige Ockwin, cum laude. Joanna Pangiota Miminakis. Ashnig Dulati. Alex Paisley Barry, summa cum laude. Mason Kendall Lavash. Rachel Lee Corridori. George Ousu. Jada Marie Poland. Chantal Tommy Harris. Ijane Venice Brown. Emily L. Croto. Kristen Kelly Lally, cum laude. Adriana Mariel Rodriguez. Ana Marie Rideout. Abigail Nicole Rose. Hannah Mary Dorothy Nolan. Caitlin De Frabota, magna cum laude. Kaylee Elizabeth Kunar. Liam Sean Kumi. Now announcing the graduates from sociology, Claudia Oliveira de Peva. Nicole Serena Caruso. Abigail Triba Holden, summa cum laude. Alexis Ann Pulver, cum laude. Michelle Ray Watson. Fatia Hussein Shifa. Ilyana Stewart. Keegan Shannon Sharp. Caitlin Jane Hickey, magna cum laude. Savannah Jane Stowe, magna cum laude. Patrick Joseph Cray. Jessica M. Burgos Luciano. Now announcing the graduates from Spanish, Timothy James Brackett. Ashley Diane Rivera Perez. Now announcing graduates from Spanish translation, Jose M. Hernandez Jr., cum laude. Now announcing graduates from urban studies, Noah Thomas Stewart, cum laude. Mariah Sandra Sylvester. Zadia Mona May Valens, summa cum laude. Irish Ashby. Now announcing the graduates from Visual and Performing Arts, Emma Janet Bain, cum laude. Thomas Cornelius Della Porta.
Degrees will now be presented to graduates who have been seated on stage and to the class marshals. Please come forward as your name is called. Caitlin Nicole Schott, Business Administration, magna cum laude. Student speaker, Alexander Jared Martell, Criminal Justice. Members of the class committee, Lisbeth Alcantara, Occupational Studies, summa cum laude. Emma J. Polak, Biology. Catherine Jenna Buckley, Elementary Education, summa cum laude. Ryan Catherine McGowan, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Shufra Insubaga, Public Health. Class Marshals, Rebecca Valencia Myrtle, Nursing. Teen T. Wynn, Business Administration, magna cum laude. I now call forward Dana Perry, the class of 2016, President of the Alumni Association's Advisory Board, and class of 2024 committee member Shufra Insubaga, for a ceremonial passing of the alumni flag.
Will all Worcester State alumni in the audience and on stage please rise? Will all graduates please rise? It is my honor to pass this flag, symbolizing your transition from students to alumni. Congratulations. The class marshals will now lead all graduates in turning of the tassel from the right side to the left, an act symbolizing receipt of the undergraduate degree. Congratulations and welcome to the Worcester State alumni family.
I respectfully request that graduates and their guests remain standing at their seats until the recessional platform party, faculty, and administrators have exited the arena. Please be aware that students will be exiting up the stairs to the second floor. Please honor them by letting them pass by before you leave your seat. Congratulations, class of 2024.